What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Kay, and you already know what time it is. Your girl is back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, what is good? I thank you so much for coming this way, and I hope you stay. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you guys turn on your notifications bell. That way you can be notified every time I upload a video, okay? Today's gym talk, we're gonna be talking about being committed in a crisis. So of course I had to bring you guys some kind of encouragement, some kind of motivation, because it is so much going on in the world right now. And I want to encourage you guys. It's a lot going on, like I said, and I just want to be a vessel to speak to you guys. I feel like God gave me this word for y'all, so of course I'm gonna share it. The reason why I decided to call it Committed in Crisis is because a lot of the times when life hits, and life has a way of hitting like no other, and when it hits, you have to remember why we decided to start doing the things we were doing, such as the goals we set, the relationships we're in, our relationship with God, our faith. We have to remember why. Your why is so important, because, you know, when you have a strong why you're doing something, that's why it's good to not just start a business just because you see everybody else doing it. You have to have passion in whatever you're doing. You have to have a why behind what you're doing, because that's the only thing that's going to keep you going when things get tough and rough, okay? So I wanted to give you guys a few pointers, some things that you can think about or meditate on to kind of help you know how to stay committed in crisis, okay? So the first thing, 3 P's, okay? So that should be pretty easy for you guys to remember. I want to make it practical. That way you guys can remember it on, you know, hand, like you can remember 3 P's. It's something easy to remember. First P is pressure. So a way to be committed in crisis is how you deal with pressure, okay? So let's talk about pressure. So pressure, as I said before, pressure has a way of applying itself in a way that makes us want to give up on life, want to give up on our dreams, want to give up on our goals, want to give up on our amazing relationships that we have, and want to give up on the dreams and the things that God spoke to us. Because let's be real, God speaks to us in different ways. And I'm sure you guys, like me, you know, God has spoke to you or given you dreams of things that you desire, that he wants to give you. Not just monetary things, just things that your heart desires. And when life comes along and it applies pressure on us, it has a way of making us want to say, you know what? I don't want to even try to do this no more, because when I tried, this happened. When I tried love, this happened. When I tried to save my money, my car broke down. When I tried to start my business the first time, it was unsuccessful. So I don't want to try it again. But pressure is not made to break us, if you guys didn't know that. Pressure is to make us, right? So even in this pandemic, it's a lot of things going on. God actually, to me, it's a lot going on with this pandemic, and it's pressure being applied in all ways, because you see people are sick. People are in fear. People are losing their jobs. People are worried about the unknown. Even me, I'm not scared or fearful, because I know God is my source. But sometimes I know I can fear the unknown. But I have to allow myself to say, you know what? I know God is going to use this to work out for my good. That's what I choose to believe. Pressure is not made to break us. It's made to build our character. God knows sometimes when he puts pressure on us, right, it's going to get certain things out of us that you not being under pressure would have not gotten out, right? So, example, you know, if everything went right in your life, you wouldn't know how to get through the tough times. If everything went right in your life, you wouldn't need God for one. And that's not the way God is set up. God is very intentional. Our God is very, very intentional. So we should be intentional as well. But I'm saying that to say, anytime I've faced a lot of pressure in my life, where I'm going through trials and tribulation, right? Because life was not meant to be a piece of cake 24/7. I don't care if you know celebrities, you know, people that have money, all of that. Trust and believe, they may not have a money problem, but they have problems. Everybody is dealt their share of issues. God is just, he's a just God. God is not going to allow one person to not experience nothing, no hard time. That's not how God works. You may see somebody that is married, but they may struggle with something else that you don't struggle with just because you're not married. You feel like, God, well, where's my husband? Why you ain't sent me my husband? Well, you are maybe begging for that thing, but you don't know what that person's going through in their life. So God knows what we can handle and how much we can handle and when we need it. He knows more than we know. A lot of the times I feel like we get a lot of pride and ego, and we start to think that we know more than God knows. But God created us, so he knows what we need and when we need it, even though we feel like he doesn't sometimes. He definitely does. But like I said, pressure allows you to get something out. Example, me being under pressure, it makes me want to say, well, let me get to my purpose. Let me do what it is I know God told me. Pressure brings things out of you that not having pressure wouldn't bring out of you. So you being pressed, God knows if he presses you, that thing that's in you that won't come out, that wouldn't come out if you didn't have it a little hard, it's going to come out when you got the pressure. That's when you really, I feel like pressure allows you to really see how strong you really are. It allows you to see yourself like God sees you. God, you put me in this position. You put me here. You put me in this situation to handle this pressure, or to be going through this depression, to be going through this sickness, to be in a financial state. You put me in an uncomfortable place is what I'm trying to say, because you knew it would make me uncomfortable. You knew it would make me want to get something. You knew it would get something out of me, that me being comfortable, God will allow you to be uncomfortable because he know being comfortable is not going to get out certain things. When you uncomfortable, your fight is different. Okay? So remember, pressure is not to break you, but it's to make you. Okay? So let's move on to the next P. The next P is perspective. Oh my gosh, y'all. If y'all don't listen to nothing else in this video, this is so important. Okay? Your mind is everything, right? Our mind is so strong. If we realize, that's why it's so important for you to have a relationship with God. It's important for you to read your Bible, because you get to see how God already done it. You get what I'm saying? God already done it. It's already written. He knew you when he formed you in your mother's womb. He knew what you would do. He knew the mistakes you would make. He knew all of that stuff. But you have to change your perspective and your mindset. So when bad things happen, we tend to become a victim instead of victorious. You can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to be victorious. When life hands you lemons, you can either be sour or you can make a drink. Okay? So choose what you want to do, because you can either take a bad situation and choose to look at it in a different way, or you can take a bad situation and look at it in a bad way, and that's just what you're going to get. The more you think, your mind is so powerful. What your mind thinks, what you see, So as a man thinks, so is he. It says that in the Bible. What you think is going to be your reality. So if you always thinking negative, you're going to attract negativity to you, because what you think is what you're going to see. You don't have capacity to see past what you're thinking. If you're thinking negative, you're going to see a lot of negative. If you choose to think positive, that's what you're going to attract. That's what you're going to see. Understand that God knows best, and trust and believe God is working things out for your good right now in this very moment. Even when I don't feel God, I know he's still with me, because we don't need to associate God with a feeling. A lot of the times we can put ourselves in positions where we can try to push ourselves away from God. God is always with us though. Even the times where I thought, God, I don't feel you. I don't feel you. And I felt like I was doing everything right. Or even when I was doing wrong, I feel like, God, I didn't feel you. I don't feel you, because we associate God with a feeling sometimes, and we shouldn't do that. A lot of the times God is still with us. He just wants to know where we are, truly where we are. Like, I literally been times where I had to pray and say, God, this is where I'm at. You know, it been times where I was doing stuff I didn't have no business doing. It was times, just to be real, like, I remember when I was addicted to smoking weed, like, I remember being like, Lord, I can't stop doing this right now, but this is where I'm at. I want to be in a relationship with you. I don't want this to separate us. And God showed me, like, I'm always with you. I don't care what you got going on. I'm going to be with you. And as long as you are true to yourself and you share with me what it is that you really have going on, even though he already knows, he wants us to confess it. He wants us to tell him, Lord, I'm addicted to sex. Lord, I'm addicted to this. I'm weak in this area. Help me. And allow God to help you, because he will help you. But we have to change our perspective. We have to stop thinking so negative. When chaos is breaking out around you, what do you choose to look at, right? You can choose to look at the news every day, all day. And guess what that's going to get you? That's going to get you in fear. Or you can choose to get up in the morning and pray and meditate and listen to devotionals and only feed yourself what is going to build up your spirit, not what's going to tear down your spirit. When I wake up in the morning, the first week that this pandemic happened, I woke up and I immediately started watching the news. And that day, the days that I did that, my day was horrible. I didn't have peace. I was in fear. And that's not what God meant for me. He didn't want me to do that. There was something that I fed myself. So when I fed myself fear, I was moving out of fear. I had fear in my heart. I didn't have peace. So from that point on, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to get up and feed myself fear and then wonder how the enemy is attacking my mind. I had to get up and feed myself good food, good stuff for my soul, things that I know were going to uplift me and encourage me to keep going, because it's people tied to what it is that God has me on this earth to do. And that is what my perspective is in this situation. Yeah, it's a lot going on around me, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be committed to what God showed me, no matter how hard it gets, because it's somebody connected to what I'm supposed to be doing. If I don't get up and do it and be committed to my why, then somebody's life is on the line. That's how we got to start looking at it. When you don't fulfill your purpose, somebody's life is on the line. It's somebody's life you're tied to inspire, to encourage, to help. It's somebody you're tied to. God is very intentional. When he made us, he was very intentional. Sometimes I just look at the trees. You can look at the trees outside, listen to the birds, the wind, all of this stuff. God is in everything. God is in everything. If you choose to look at it like it, though. But if you choose to have a negative mindset, that's what's going to control your life. So I challenge you guys today to choose to change your perspective. This thing is working for us more than it's working against us. God has even freed up our mind. God has put the world on hold. That's why I was like, when it first happened, I'm like, let me find out the Lord put the world on hold for me. Let me find out. Like, the Lord cares about us so much. He allowed this thing to happen to stop the world for a second and say, I'm giving you this time to be free of distraction. When you come out of this quarantine, you should not come out the same. You should come out different. But it's all about how you look at it. Lord, what is it that you want us to see right now is what you have to ask yourself. Lord, what is it right now that you want me to do in this season of my life? What is it that I need to be doing? Prime example, the Lord had been telling me to write a book a year or so ago. And I procrastinated. And one day last week, I was working from home, and I'm blessed, thank God for that. But I was working from home, and I feel God tell me, start writing that book. Now, I had already had an idea of what the book would be about, but I never started it, and I didn't know how it was going to form or what the title was going to be or none of that stuff. But when I sat there and took the time, now I could have been sitting there like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to get out of the house. Oh my gosh, I could have looked at it like that. And I could have been like, Lord, what am I going to write about? Is nothing going on? No, I allow God to take that time for me to sit there in quiet. And as I started to type, I realized like God was helping me as I was writing. But if I didn't actually start doing that, I would have never, you get what I'm saying? Like, the moment I started typing, I didn't know what I was going to type, but the moment I started typing, when I decided to put some action toward the faith that I had, God started giving me the words. He started allowing me to research things to show me, okay, this is how I want you to put your book together. And I just was so mind boggled, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can't even believe I'm doing this. But I put some action behind the faith that I had, and I allowed God to work, because God can work if I have a little bit of faith, and he can work if I put some action behind it. God partners with us. You know, God just doesn't do everything. We think God does everything, like, oh God, I'm gonna pray, and then boom, it's magic. God is not a genie in a bottle. You get what I'm saying? God can do anything, but God is not a genie in a bottle. God partners with us. He cannot do things if we don't allow him to do them. You get what I'm saying? We have to partner with God. Like, God, if you say, I want to be a millionaire, you can't say you want to be a millionaire and just sit there and think you're going to be a millionaire. No, you got to have faith to believe. Nobody in my family was a millionaire, but I believe I could be a millionaire because God said you can have an abundant life. So you can have that if that's what his word says. But you got gonna be a millionaire sitting at home on your butt all day, not trying to research and, you know, come up with multiple streams of income. Like, you know, you're not gonna be able to do something if you don't have faith in it and if you don't put action behind it. Okay, so change your perspective. Ask God, God, help me to see things in the spiritual realm. Help me to see things with my faith versus with my two eyes. Because one thing about our eyes can mislead us. Our eyes can show you, your eyes will show you, I got $0 in my bank account, is what your eyes can see. If you got $0 in the bank account, and if you choose to believe that, you're gonna have $0 in your bank account. But you can have $0 in your bank account and choose to believe, that don't mean I'm not gonna be a millionaire just because I got $0 in my bank account right now. It's all about your mindset. What you believe is what's gonna come true, okay? So make sure you guys think about that, meditate on that, and let's move on forward to the next P. So the next P that I had is peace. And this is my favorite one, right? Because God has given us a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind, right? So that means that we have the power to overcome anything. For one, Jesus already overcame death. Jesus already overcame all of the things that we struggle with. So we don't have to be bound to the things that we struggle with, right? So we have the power to overcome because Jesus is in us. And that's why I fall in love with like really getting to know Jesus and getting to know God so much, because the more I get to know God, the more he reveals to me how much he's in me. And it lets me know that I can do anything. I can do anything. Like, I can do anything. I can move mountains, literally. Like, you know what I'm saying? But our mind has to be your mind is everything. Your mind has to be so strong. It goes back to the perspective, right? So, like I said, God has given us a spirit of power, of love. We are love. We have to love each other. We are love. When we operate out of love, we can do so much in a sound mind, which is peace. It's so much going on, like I said, in the world, but for some reason, I just have a peace in my heart where I'm not worried about anything. And I know it's from the Lord, because with my eyes, I can see chaos breaking out around me. But with my faith and my spiritual eyes, I have a resting, because I know God is working for me, and I know God has the world in his hands, and I don't have to worry about things that I cannot control. God has given me the opportunity to have peace, because I need peace so that I can do the things that he called me to do. But the things I can't control, I have to surrender. I have to give to him and allow him to do what he does, because I can't do that. That's out of my control. But what I can control is the things that he's given me the strength to control within my sphere or within my region. And that's what I will do. I won't allow fear to make me shut down and not do what it is that I already wrote down, and the things that God already showed me. I won't allow it to shut me down. I won't allow it to shut me up. And you shouldn't allow it to do that. But I challenge you guys to have peace in this storm. I know things look crazy. We don't know when stuff is going to open it back up. We don't know what's going on. But this is our new normal right now. And I challenge you to live here in this season, right? Don't resist it and just be all over the place. Don't resist it. Surrender control to the things you can't control and live in this storm right now, because that's basically what it is. We're having to live in a storm, and we can live in a storm. We can have peace in a storm. It makes me think of when Jesus calmed the storm. The disciples were so scared, and Jesus was sleeping, and they're like, Jesus, why? Like they like, Jesus, why are you sleeping? Like, it's a storm going on. They thinking they about to die. And Jesus had peace because he knew he had the power. He had the power to calm that storm, and that's what he did. He wasn't worried about that. He wasn't worried about that, because at the end of the day, God's will is going to be done. We have to have peace, and we have to surrender what it is that we're not supposed to be controlling anyway. This is our new normal. Change your perspective. Ask God, Lord, help me to live in this season right now. What is it I need to be doing in this season right now? Don't panic, don't worry, don't fear. Be cautious and be careful, of course, but don't have fear and don't have worry. Ask God to give you peace, because just to be real, you already have the peace. It's just about you. You have to quiet your mind so that you can feel it, right? Quiet your mind and ask God to help you find that peace within, right? Help him. He will help you find that peace. Something that I do to help me stay at peace, I do try to meditate on the word of God. I try to ask God, like, whatever it is I'm feeling, something that I do, because I don't know all my Bible scriptures, but something you can do is, if you have the Bible app, or if you have a Bible, which the reason why I like the Bible app is because it's so practical. And if you're struggling with something, say you're struggling with fear, you can just type in fear and it'll pull up Bible scriptures that have, that are related to things that, are tied to how to get over fear. There are even Bible plans on the Bible app, and it'll give you a better breakdown, so you can kind of understand it better. Also, like I said, it just is more practical, which is a lot of the times what we need. We need things to be broken down in a practical way to where we can understand them a little bit better. But one thing you can always do is pray and trust and believe. If you open your heart, just open your heart and say, Lord, I'm ready to receive whatever it is that you need me, whatever it is you want to tell me. And don't expect to just pray and then boom, God gonna tell you something, which he may. But meditate. When you keep your heart at peace, you can hear God clearer. You can hear what he tells you to do. You can be led by the Holy Spirit. Just pray and ask God to help you with whatever it is that you're struggling with right now. And I promise He has never failed me in any situation, whether it been financial, whether it been depression, whether it been love, whether it been anything. God has never failed me, not one time. So I hope this video was encouraging. Remember that pressure doesn't break you, but it makes you. 2, perspective is everything. How you look at it is what you're gonna get out of it. When life gives you lemons, don't choose to be sour, but make you a fruity drink. And number 3 is peace. Peace, even when chaos is breaking out around you, you trust your Lord and you trust your God and know that He knows what's best for you. He will allow things to work out for your good. The things that are for you will be there for you. And trust and surrender control and just allow God to give you the peace knowing that He's in control, okay? I want to send love out to everybody that is struggling during this pandemic. If you've lost a loved one, my prayers go out to you. If you're struggling financially, my prayers go out to you. We are all blessed. You know, a lot of us are so blessed, and we need to use this time to be generous to people that are struggling financially. We need to be encouraging to people that need encouragement, right? During this time. We need to stand up and be the people that God has called us to be, but don't allow crisis to break you and away what you're here to do, right? Don't let it break you. Be committed in Christ. Be committed to the goals and dreams that you set, and be committed to the purpose that God has on your life, okay? I love you guys so, so much. My peace and blessings go out to all of you guys.